Thank you, Chairman Murkowski. Ranking Member Cantwell and committee members, thank you for the invitation to join you today and the opportunity to provide you with my thoughts and input on natural resource conservation, mitigation, and multiple use. I'm Shaun, a fifth-generation cattle and sheep rancher from Uintah County, located in southwest Wyoming. I'm an elected as supervisor of the Uintah County Conservation District, president of the Wyoming Association of Conservation Districts, and member of the Wyoming Stock Growers Association. I, along with my family, raise cattle, sheep, and hay. Our family is committed to sound natural resource management, and we practice it every day on our ranch. As part of our operation, we also host 28 wind turbines, subsequently providing for alternative energy development. Our ranch operates in 4 counties, 2 states, and in an area where there is active oil and gas development, among many other land uses. We also provide world-class mule deer and antelope populations and have large swaths of sage grouse habitat that are considered core area as designated by the state of Wyoming. We believe multiple use and conservation of our resources works in concert with one another and not independently. We must make a living from our resources, and we must take care of our resources so that we can make that living. I am deeply concerned with the November 3rd, 2015 presidential memorandum mitigating impacts on natural resources from development and encouraging related private investments and the implications it may have on our family's ranching operation and other industries in my state and the West. The underlying principles of avoidance, minimization, and compensation are generally sound and are already being practiced at the local, state, and federal levels. The document seeks consistency within across agencies. That can have merit. However, as we have seen with the sage grouse plans, it can also preclude effective locally driven conservation. This memorandum introduces some new concepts that cause me concern. First, the memorandum introduces a new concept of increased private investment in resource restoration and enhancement. My sense is that this will be accomplished through mandatory or mandated compensatory actions, not through the encouragement of economic activity that could enable resource users to be willing investors. I have witnessed firsthand what I refer to, and I realize this is a strong word, but frankly, in my opinion, it is accurate. Project approval through coercion. Second, the definition of advanced compensation is based on the memorandum and environmental benefits achieved before a project's harmful impacts occur. This language leaves one questioning whether the intent is to go beyond concurrent mitigation, which is current standard for most mitigation projects. Although the definition of durability is consistent with current definitions as needing to be at least equal to the length of the impact, the document later states that agencies should address the resilience of the measures, benefits to potential future environmental change. This appears to establish a let's guess what the future holds for resource changes and mitigate for those unknowns type of strategy. Based on the cursory review of the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service's proposed revisions, it is obvious mitigation for climate change is a major focus. The issue I see with this approach is that there are all sorts of dynamics in a natural environment that can change the face and condition of a resource base. Fire, flood, drought, and other naturally occurring events. How will anyone ever be able to provide mitigation of sufficient durability to account for any potential any potential future environmental change when we were talking about a dynamic system that is ever changing itself? In addition, the concept of mitigation to provide for a net environmental gain at this point is premature. This approach also assumes that baseline resource information exists at a level to provide certainty on how to get to net gain or no net loss. Although there are many efforts aimed at developing these baselines, I am not convinced they are sufficient to begin mandating and implementation in the time frame contemplated by the memorandum. Also, landscape or watershed level approaches are discussed in the memorandum. Again, this makes sense from a natural resource management perspective. However, I question what size of the landscape or the level of the watershed that is being contemplated. Lastly, the memorandum discusses irreplaceable natural resources. I am concerned that this is basically yet one more land designation designed to limit our productive use of our resource base. There appears to be no shortage of attempts via designation of one sort or another to further limit the ability of farmers and ranchers as well as other industries to responsibly develop and utilize our resources. The interpretation of these points is most concerning if left wide open, and depending on who is interpreting this, could have a chilling effect on future resource development. Thank you, Madam Chairman and members of the committee.